Hey everybody, Bill Faith here. Welcome back to STR Unfiltered. I've got my handy dandy little timer here. That way I don't run over. We know we don't want to turn this into a 20 or 30 minute podcast, do we? If we do, then let me know and I'll extend it. But I like kind of keeping things short, concise, and to the point. And number one question that I've gotten since the conference is literally, what's my tech stack? So I'm going to go over my tech stack today, and this is for newbies. It's also for people that are experienced. I'm going to kind of explain everything. So I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people know that I use OwnerRez as my primary PMS, my property management system, and it's because it's so robust. And I believe it is hands down the best PMS that's on the market today. Is the user interface like as good as Hostfully? Absolutely not, but it's got more features that I want to use. And some of the big ones for me are like API into QuickBooks, API into Facebook. I love all the stuff, the messaging, everything that it does. I love the back office that I can co-host, I can get reports. The lack of unified inbox it's not a deal breaker for me, but that's why I actually use the second part of my tech stack, Hospitable. So I love Hospitable, and that's the PMS that I recommend for people that are just getting started with like 1 to 2 or 3 properties. Get started with Hospitable. I use it because the AI and the messaging and the unified inbox, which is absolutely critical. So I'll scratch those 2 off. The next one for me is Price Labs. I think a lot of people get Price Labs and all dynamic pricing wrong. It should not be set it and forget it. Price Labs is great. All of them are. I mean, you've got Wheelhouse, you've got Beyond, you've got Price Labs is the big one. There's Buoy, there's some others that are out there, but I've chosen Price Labs because of its simplicity and also the customization that you can put into place. The other thing is I try to do almost everything from this little thing right here, my iPhone. So when I'm choosing tech, it really needs to be mobile friendly. Unfortunately, a couple of the platforms that I use are not, but I can navigate pretty well through Price Labs. There's some things that I need to do on a desktop, but what I see is literally close to a 30% disparity from people that are using manual pricing only and don't have a dynamic pricing tool to people that do have a dynamic pricing tool. During COVID, we could literally set and forget our pricing and not worry about it. Today, we do need to take advantage of some manual pricing. And one of the things becomes really important is when you're using a dynamic pricing tool, you really need to understand how it works and make sure that you dive in and you 100% are using all of the features. It's not just put in your low, medium, high rate, let them go in and optimize the pricing. There's aggression levels. You need to have seasons. You still need to vary your average night stays, tie that into your pricing strategy. A lot of that stuff becomes really important. Moving on to number 4 is RankBreeze. I've used RankBreeze for a few years now. Kelvin Ma has been to a few of my events to speak. I love RankBreeze because it gives me information and data that I can leverage to work on my listing optimization all in one spot. And it has, I call it a log. I know he's going to kill me. It's not called a log. I keep forgetting what he calls it, to where one of the critical components of doing SEO or trying to rank your listing is that you iterate and make changes and you document. So that way you can benchmark and see if the listing's going up or if it's going down. It's really that simple. If you don't benchmark and just start changing shit all the time, then you're not going to really know what's working and what's not working. So I literally use RankBreeze probably 3-4 times a week. It takes a couple of days for the algorithm to update. So I'm not really in there with every single property every day. I kind of try to chunk and block my time out. So I'll get in there 2-3 times, maybe 4 times, depending on the season in a given week, and make some changes. But one of the things that I like is that I can see where I'm ranking by occupancy, because like when I have an occupancy of 10, I really don't care about 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll get some people that stay there with an occupancy of 4, but nobody's really staying at 1, 2, and 3. So I really focus on the relevant, that 80th percentile for myself. The other thing is then I can look at my competitors. I can track competitors that I want to track. I can look at specific dates that I'm ranking for. Just a lot of great information that I can get from RankBreeze. RankBreeze does not do the rankings for you. That's a misconception that's out there that I think is really, really important. So I'm going to scratch that one off. Another one, I'm just adding one that I forgot about. Another one is TouchStay. I love a digital app. The days of having something, coffee stained and sitting on your calendar in a PDF, hopefully were eliminated during COVID. There's a few choices out there for digital apps. I love TouchStay. I love the interface. I love the way that it looks. It's super easy for my guests. So that is what I use. And one of the things too, it's not just about your property. You can leverage TouchStay and like kind of cordon off content until the guest arrives or checks in or use stuff earlier. They have video now. They even have text messaging now, which I think is absolutely cool. So you need to think about the marketing stuff and the things, all those questions that people ask. Hey, do I need to make reservations in advance? What are the best restaurants? Where should I rent, my ski gear? Where can I do dolphin cruises? Are there any hiking trails, within walking distance of the property? Those are the things we need to answer in TouchStay ahead of time. One, it gives you a level of concierge service that's going to be above your other competitors. And two, it eliminates questions and messages that come in. So it helps with the automation process of saving time by doing it once and delivering it in advance. Behind that is StayFi. Really, StayFi becomes your router. It's just like when you walk into a Starbucks and you have to put in your contact information, then Starbucks gets to market to you, right? So we need to build our email list. That should be priority number one for all hosts. StayFi is a great platform to be able to utilize and do that as well. And it's your router. I mean, it's like $100 for a router, and it's like $5 a month or something like that. But it's huge because that's the most valuable asset, because you need to be emailing your customers. You also can use that in Facebook and LinkedIn to create custom audiences to be able to run ads to be able to target. The next one, and this is more my wife than myself, and I call it a piece of, I'm putting it in the tech stack. It's Minoan. Minoanexperience.com. If you haven't used Minoan, they're a huge GPO. They're amazing. The people are amazing. But most importantly, I call it a tech stack because it's got everything in one spot, and you can order from multiple suppliers, multiple vendors, and put it all on one invoice. That solves a tremendous amount of technology issues and accounting issues and that type of stuff, as opposed to if I'm going to order from Pottery Barn and Our House and Wayfair, and I do that any place else or individually, then I got to manage 3 different order numbers, 3 different deliveries, 3 different notifications, 3 different invoices. But if I can put all of those on one invoice, much easier to be able to manage. So kudos to Mark and the team at Minoan for letting us consolidate from multiple vendors. I know when we did our banner elk house, my wife used Minoan. I think we had maybe 17 different vendors that we were ordering from. And you think about it, you might be buying towels at Costco or Target and furniture from Wayfair and whatever it is. We end up using multiple vendors, and that's something that makes it much easier. So I'm going to throw them into my tech stack. A new one for me is Relay that I'm using for insurance. And it's really, really vital because I just can't stand dealing with Airbnb's customer service. And every time they decline air cover, it's not as easy as it's built out to be. Relay makes it super easy and super affordable. It's way less expensive than the other options that I've seen that come with the PMSs for additional insurance. So now I don't even have to deal with air cover or go to Airbnb or Vrbo anymore. I just can file my claims directly through Relay. They also have other types of insurances as well. They were just at the STR Wealth Conference. I've fallen in love with them. They've been fantastic to work with. Lots of security cameras that are out there. I use Ring once again because of this, the app that I can utilize. It makes it a lot easier. I love the recordings. A lot of people don't like that you have to pay $99, $100 per property if you have multiple cameras. I have large properties. I average 4 cameras per property. Some of them have 6. So that's a good investment for me to have that footage to be able to go back and look at it later. And because of the UI, excuse me, I like it a lot. So I'm a Ring with battery and then add on the $50 solar panel so I don't have to worry about it. Makes it really easy. I'm a Schlagen code lock guy. I've got 4 or 5 of them. At one time I had 9. I've tried August. I've tried Yale. It's the most reliable. Once again, the best interface on mobile for me. So that's why I use Schlag. Ecobee thermostats. Same thing. I have multiple inside of one app. I like the user experience. Most importantly, it's easier for the guest to use. You think about older people like my 50 to 70 years old that are coming in and Nest, and especially since they've updated and it's really hard to find the buttons to control. So I like ease of use for my guests and for me on a mobile device. There's my timer. So that's why I've chosen Ecobee. If you have a hot tub or a pool, really more so for pools, I use the Pentair app to remotely control everything that I do. And I've got multiple pools that I have to manage and hot tubs and that type of stuff. I don't have it. It doesn't sync in with all the hot tubs because it's like a $1,500 install for the technology to be able to communicate with the app. I haven't done it with hot tubs, but I do it with all of our pools. So I can schedule and set heating on and off, watch the the filter, make sure that's running, all the different type of stuff, see what the water temperature is. So the Pentair app is what I love. And it's funny because I don't even have Pentair, heaters in my pools. I think all of them are Hayward's actually, but Pentair works with them. So just one thing to make my life easier as a host is I try to automate and scale everything. The last one's brand new that I just switched over to. I used to have Active Campaign and Lead Pages, and Hero Posts. I've used HubSpot in the past and MailChimp and all these different tools. Well, now B&B CRM, which is actually my new all-in-one marketing platform with a CRM behind it, is literally probably available by the time this is. You can go to bnbcrm.com, specifically designed. We have different packages there. It's really a SaaS software. The basic starts at under $100. And it's really affordable when you add on the cost for a MailChimp or an Active Campaign or a whatever it is, and then you look at the social media management tool, so you can post and run ads and text messaging, and if you want Pipedrive or something for a contact management or CRM, you're looking well over $100. We deliver it for you for under $100. That's something that's really important to me because marketing is so critical that a lot of people miss as they're trying to scale their portfolios. That's one reason. That's how I outperformed the 90th percentile on STR Insights Airbnb by 55% portfolio wide. It's because of that off-platform marketing. So B&B CRM has made it really easy for me. Now I'm giving it to you guys as well, and making it extremely affordable. I mean, I was customer number 33 at HubSpot. I helped build their partner program. I understand the value of HubSpot, but it's super expensive. You're looking at starting at like $1,000 if you have 2,000 or 3,000 contacts. It's a month, not even on a yearly basis. So it's very expensive. So I've been wanting to bring this tech stack to you. I'm going to cross that one off the list. That's B&B CRM. My man Joey will have links to all of these places here inside the podcast for you down in the show notes. And don't forget about the new Superhost Sundays that I'm running inside the Build Short-Term Rental Wealth Facebook group. You can see it here. It'll be down in the show notes as well. You can text Superhost Sunday, all one word, to 844-764-2132. There you go, right there. That's from my Instagram stories. That is 844-764-2132. That is Superhost Sunday, all one word. Just text it to that. It only works in the U.S. Those text messaging platforms have a challenge outside of the United States. So if you're in Canada or whatever, you won't be able to get that. Just DM me on Instagram. I'm BillFaith73, and I'll get you hooked up. Thanks for joining me. Happy hosting, everybody.